Hi everybody, welcome to the Jeffscavator channel, and a big thank you for 1,000 subscribers and just under 15,000 watch hours in just under 5 months. For those of you who subscribe to my channel, thank you very much. I will continue to put out content that I hope you enjoy. For those of you here to see my YouTube journey, please subscribe to the channel. I will keep you updated on a regular basis on my progress. I just applied for monetization, so that was approved. And so I will be giving you a monthly update on what that looks like, because I don't even know. And I will continue to give you my progress on subscribers and things that I'm learning along the way to help you. So who is this video for? This video is for two people. It's for that group of people who haven't started their YouTube channel yet. And for those people, I will just say right off the bat, you need to get started. No more excuses, no more waiting, just pick up your phone and go. I tell you, I fell into that trap. I kept saying, I want to start a YouTube channel, I want to start a YouTube channel. Never a right time, never a right equipment, never this, never that. And I delayed it and delayed it and delayed it. Here I am, 61 years old. I finally got started on a YouTube channel. And in just under 5 months, I've hit my goal of 1,000 subscribers and just under 15,000 watch hours. My goal was 4,000, I hit 15,000. What's that tell you? That tells you that you wait too long. I wish I'd have done this a long time ago. I'd be way ahead of the game right now. But here I am. That's when I started. And the day you start is the day you start. So get a channel going, make your first video. It's going to be terrible and awkward and all that. But once you do it, you'll enjoy it. And you get better with every video you make. Trust me. Okay, for everybody else watching who wants to learn about my YouTube journey and how I achieved what I achieved in just under 5 months, here's my story. I'm 61 years old, and I've been wanting to start a YouTube channel for a long time. But just like I said, I waited and I waited, and there was never a right time. And then I started watching a lot of YouTube videos on people who were buying these Chinese pieces of equipment, and they were talking about them. Looked like they're having a blast with them. And I had wanted to get some of that equipment myself, and I said, well, I want to have fun like they are and film it, because that seems like a great thing to do, and teach others about how to use the equipment, et cetera, et cetera. But you know what? That first piece of equipment came, and I unboxed it, and I did all this stuff. I didn't film it. And then I got another piece of Chinese equipment, and I didn't film it. I unboxed it and did all that stuff. I didn't film it. So I finally said, you know what? If I'm going to do this, I'm going to do it. So I knew I was ordering a third piece of equipment, and I knew the day it was coming, and I said, this is the day I start. So I planned ahead. It's the only thing that kicked my butt in gear to get going. And I went ahead and learned how to, my knowledge base was absolutely zero. I didn't know anything. My iPhone is so old, I can't even update the software on it because it has no memory left. So I use an iPhone and an iPad. That's it. I didn't know anything. I didn't even know how to start a YouTube channel. So what I did was I did some research, went on AI, talked to it, asked how to start a YouTube channel, and I learned. And it created the logo for me that you see here. It went ahead and showed me how to start a YouTube channel. And I asked it what kind of equipment I needed because my phone wouldn't work, and it was cheaper to buy a camera than a new phone. So that's what I did. I bought an Osmo Action 5 Pro, and that's what I'm filming on here now. And I did that because I figured if the YouTube thing didn't work out, I could always use the camera for other things like vacations and stuff because it's a pretty good camera. So that's how I got started. It was just that what kicked me butt in gear. So the day came, July 15th, 2025. The equipment arrived in my garage, and I turned on my camera and I started filming. And here's a clip I'm going to put up here in the corner of my very first video, which was only 5 months ago. But the audio was terrible. But you know what? It got me started. And after that, I just kept improving. My kids said, the audio is terrible, Dad. You have to have better audio. So I bought an external mic so that I could get my audio up to snuff. And then I had to start learning about everything else along the way. So that was how I got started with a knowledge base of zero. So if you've already starting with, you already know how to do YouTube and all that stuff, you're way, way ahead of me when I started. So I'm not going to teach you any technical stuff about that you probably don't already know. If you're my age and you haven't started yet, trust me, you can do it, because if I can do it, you can do it, because I knew nothing. Here's what I have learned. You need to be consistent. So of all the videos I've watched in learning, I decided that I needed a cadence that I could live with. I have a full-time job. So I can only make YouTube videos in the evenings and on the weekends. And I have to edit them. And I don't know anything about editing, so I knew that would take a while. So I decided that 1 video a week would be the cadence I would try to keep up. And I have. Sometimes I put out more than 1 video a week, depending on the subject matter. But that's my cadence, and if I stick to that, I figured that would give me the consistency to let my followers know that I would put out a video every week and that they could count on that. So that's very important. My sons have told me, because they're avid YouTube consumers, that they have followed people and subscribed to people who they just disappear for 6 months and then they lose interest in their channel. So be consistent in your output. The next thing I learned that I embrace quickly and that has helped me every step of the way is AI. I use ChatGPT and Grok constantly. They are like my silent partners in this whole thing. They answer every question I have. They help me through the editing process. They have really, I say they, the AI, because you start to feel like it's a real person, but they're the best tutor you're gonna have. I can't call my kids every time I have a question because, they don't have a YouTube channel. They may not even know the answer. But AI, sometimes they don't give you the best information, so you gotta pick through it, but it's better than having nothing. And I'll tell you what, they have sped up my learning curve a lot by teaching me how to do the different software programs that I need to get through in terms of editing and technique and stuff like that. They also help me with ideas. They help me with descriptions, titles, logos, thumbnails, you name it. AI is there to help you. So take advantage of it and utilize it to its full extent. So when it comes to editing videos, this is the part that gets most people hung up because editing sometimes take a lot of time. Now, when I first started, I used the editing program that came with the DJI Osmo 5, and that got me through my first few videos, and it was fine. And then when I wanted to do maybe a little more, I asked my kids, what they thought I should use, and they recommended CapCut. Said it's free, it has pretty much all the features you need. So I downloaded the app CapCut, and I did all this on my iPad. Didn't have any fancy equipment. And that worked okay, and I was making videos then and editing with CapCut. But this is a personal choice that I made. Space was my biggest problem because these videos take up a lot of room. So I decided to go and buy a MacBook Pro with 1 terabyte of storage. I got the one with the M4 chip, so it's a little faster, and then I bought Final Cut. The AI and others said it was a nice professional video editing software program, but I had to learn that. So AI helped me to learn Final Cut, and I'm getting better and better at it now, starting to add a few more bells and whistles to my videos. And Final Cut has been one that you can grow with. So I'm not recommending it, I'm just saying that's what I did. So I also learned that I need to take the criticism of others seriously. So my kids are some of the best critics I have because they have no filter and they're more than happy to tell me what they don't like about my videos, what they like, what makes me look old, blah, 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 blah. Now they're watching a different kind of content than what I'm putting out. So I take some of their advice and other advice I say that's just not for me. But the criticism I definitely take seriously all the time is the critics who are in my videos, because my subscribers, they're the ones that I'm looking out for. So I've had some people tell me, hey, you need to move the camera around more. You need to do this or that. And I do it or they give me video suggestions. They'll say, hey, can you make a video on this? And that's great. So listen to your subscribers because those are the people that you're after and you want to please. So if they're giving you some critical information on your videos, take advantage of it, take the criticism, thank them for it, and try to make those improvements. The very first video I made, I had a guy come on and say, I'm going to take advice from some wannabe YouTuber. So kind of mean, that's okay. But you know what? I said, I'm going to prove this guy wrong. I'm going to prove to him that I'm not a wannabe YouTuber. I'm going to prove to this person that I am a YouTuber and I am going to hit my goals. So I'm proud to say to that person, I am now a real, honest to goodness, monetized YouTuber. So sometimes your criticism will come and I don't take any of it seriously, but sometimes it motivates you to kind of either get better or to say, I'm going to prove that person wrong. And it's really healthy, I think, to do that. The other thing I learned along the way is YouTube analytics. So You're going to be on YouTube, which you already are if you're watching this, or if you haven't started, you will be. And you'll start to see analytics of your videos. So there's a lot of information there, and you don't want to dwell on all the information, but it starts after a while when you start to see, like maybe you're suffering from, you're not getting enough subscribers. Now, I had the weird one where I had all the watch hours I needed right away. It was the subscribers that were lagging. And I needed to figure out how to get subscribers. So I studied the YouTube analytics data, talked to AI about it, and between those two things, we kind of determined when I needed to place my videos. You know, on my cadence was weekly, but there was a certain time of the day when my audience watches. So I wanted to place it at the right time. So it helped with that. And then you also can see when your audience dips, when maybe you're losing your audience, etc. And also I learned to ask them to subscribe at the front of my videos. I just learned that. So there are tips all over the place. And if you watch enough YouTube how-to tip videos, you'll see and learn a lot. And you just have to start piecing this stuff all together to fit into your channel, wherever you're having your problem, to kind of fix it. Okay, I'm kind of embarrassed to say this, but I only realized last week, 7 days ago, that you could make shorts from your iPhone in like a few minutes from one of your long videos and put them out there. I had no idea. I thought it took a separate video editing process to make shorts, so I didn't make any because it was just gonna be too much time. And then when I discovered you could just pick up your iPhone and make a short in under 5 minutes, it was a revelation. So if you already know this, that you can make a short and then you can tie that short back to the long video you made it from, so people are referred to it. It will speed things up for you. You're already way ahead of where I was. I'm just trying to tell you I'm a dinosaur. I'm learning stuff so slowly. I have yet to learn most of it. So don't be discouraged if you're stuck, because if I can do it, I am telling you, you can do it, because I am still struggling with most of the things that I do. So I honestly encourage you to just keep going, be consistent. Make those shorts to refer people back to your long videos. Learn everything you can and take all these little tips and just start to integrate them into your videos. It takes a while to start putting all this stuff together, but it will come. As you continue to make videos, it will come, and your subscribers will come, and your watch hours will come. So I don't know what kind of videos you're making. Maybe they're all short, maybe they're medium, whatever. But whatever your format is, look at the analytics and take the advice of others and try to piece that all together and get better at what you do. Okay, monetization, because that's the goal, right? That's what we're all here for, I guess. It wasn't my goal at first. I didn't even know what monetization really was. I didn't know until I started looking at analytics that you needed 1,000 subs and 4,000 watch hours. So that became my goal. But I'm here now. I've monetized. I applied on Sunday and I was approved Monday. So that's today. So this morning I clicked all the stuff to turn it on. I have no idea what to expect. So what I will do is I will update everybody monthly on the money that comes in, whatever it is. Maybe it's 10 cents, maybe it's $10. I have no idea, but I'll let you know what that looks like. So I'll report back in a month and keep you updated on that, keep you updated on the subs and my watch hours, and let you know what I'm learning along the way, if there's any other tips or tricks that I might be able to help you with. So in closing, I'm just a 61-year-old dude who knew nothing. 5 months ago, I said I want to start a YouTube channel, and I set my mind to it. I stayed consistent. I tried to put out content that I thought I would like to watch and my audience would like to watch. And I listened to my audience, and I make changes along the way. And I use AI to help me. So when my kids were little and they would argue with me, I would always say to them, are you digging or are you filling? I use that line now to close out every one of my videos because it kind of fits with my content. But it also fits with this. So if you're not achieving the goals that you have set for yourself for your YouTube channel, maybe you're struggling with your watch hours or your subs like I was, stop digging and start looking at what you can do to start filling in that hole and improve on the problem that you have. And I think that would be the best thing you could do to get that channel moving again and get to your goal, whatever it is. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. I will keep you posted on my journey as I go along. So until next time, this is Jeff with the Jeffscavator channel. And are you digging or are you filling?